Hello America, this is Keith, your friendly neighborhood technician, coming back at you with some more good information on why, how, and for what reasons am I going to need and want to change my water filter on my fridge. Well, first of all, let's start off with why your filter light goes on, okay? 90% of fridges out there don't actually care how much water has gone through them. They're basically, every 6 months, they're going to go off because they figure you've used enough and it's time for you to change them. That's easy. Most things have a filter reset. You hold a button down, you reset the filter. Okay, well, we're going into summertime. Summertime means more parties outside, more ice, more cold water, a lot more usage, okay? Now, some high-end fridges actually do count how many gallons of water go through it. So when it gets to a certain gallon, it knows that water filter has done its life. Most people don't use nearly that much water or will use that much water. Now what we have here are two different examples of filters. One is a Whirlpool filter, one's a Frigidaire filter. They are very, very model specific and manufacturer specific, okay? So you can't just go down to Home Depot, pick up a water filter and throw it into your water in the fridge. That's not a good thing. They generally run between $50 to $75 depending on the manufacturer and the model, things like that. So they're a little bit pricey. Now you can go online and you can get a volume pack, 6, 8, 10, whatever, at a better price. Okay, I use 5 gallons of water out of my fridge maybe a week. Okay, I'm not a big ice guy, never have been. I was blessed to be born with very sensitive gums, so me and ice don't get along. I like my ice cream where I can spoon it, not have to chip it. That's a different argument for a different day. But my light, this little fridge light or this little filter light, goes on every 6 months religiously whether I use it or not. I know I'm not using the water that it needs to go in, okay? So I just reset mine. Now you may love ice, and like I said, we're going into summer, so you're going to be making a whole lot more ice, and the kids are going to go, I want water, and they get water, okay? Now we have a couple different kinds of filters. I'm not going to break into these, but I'm going to try to explain it to you. One is a filter paper filter. It's exactly what it stands. It's basically filter paper that the water goes through that takes all of the contaminants or other particles out of your water. The second kind is called a reverse osmosis. And what it does, instead of paper filter, it actually has a core that the water is pushed through, which then separates all of the particulars out of your water, okay? Which makes it cleaner and fresher. The time you have to replace your filter is when the taste of your water changes. And you'll know what I mean by that. You'll get a glass of water and all of a sudden it tastes a little funny. That's a good sign you need to change your water filter. This may or may not tell you. You may have pushed this 5 or 6 times and reset it, and you finally get to the point where your filter has become not effective. Now if you have a reverse osmosis filter, they don't really ever get filled with debris. Now your paper filters, they will get filled over time and they will stop working properly, and you'll know that when I push this, all of a sudden instead of getting a nice stream of water, I get a real slow pour. That means your filter's probably clogged. At that point you need a new filter. Now what kind do you have? Your owner's manual can tell you if you have a reverse osmosis or a filter or whatever. If you've got a newer fridge, pretty sure it's going to be a reverse osmosis filter because they found that's a better way of filtering your water. If you've got a fridge that's more than 5, 8 years old, you probably have a paper filter. But that's for you to figure out. Not hard to figure out. You can do that. Okay, so when to do your filter is when your water taste change or your ice cubes start getting cloudy. Okay, all of a sudden, say I pull at this ice cube and it's like real nice and crystal clear. Then all of a sudden I get, a couple days later I come out and there's kind of just a little, what looks like haze in them. Well, that's a good sign you may want to change your water filter because something in your system changed. I don't think your water changed, so your filter probably got to the point where it's not doing its job anymore, okay? So changing your filter, recommended by the manufacturer, every 6 months. I use 30 gallons every 6 months. I'm not spending 45, 50 bucks or $100 a year on filters for 60 gallons of water. You may use 5, 10 gallons a day. You multiply that times 180, then yeah, it's worth doing. So you don't have to change it when it says it, but change it when your water taste changes, and you will know when that happens. So don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and come back next week for some more very good information, and have a wonderful summer.